lights, camera, action. My boyfriend got me this as a joke present. Well, I'm assuming it's a joke present for Christmas, but it's quite satisfying. He was like, you could use this in filming. I was like, okay then. So, welcome back to my channel. Hi friends, I'm Abby and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be looking at my priorities for 2025. So this is a video that I did do for 2024. It got to like February and I was like, I need some structure. I don't have structure. What am I reading? So I made myself a priorities list. This year I'm going into the year with the priorities list already made, with some ideas of things that I want to do and accomplish. But first we'll look back on 2024, just check through, run through it very quickly, and then I will get into my ambitions for 2025. Some of the priorities I had was continue with positive reading energy. I think I had a positive reading energy in 2024. I think I did well. I think there were some ups and downs, but overall I think I did well and I read a lot of good books. So positive reading energy, success. And the next was read down my physical TBR and get it to 50 books. That didn't happen. I stayed in the 60s. I went from like 64 to 62, but it's still some progress and I will continue that goal into 2025 to get it at least below 50. I then wrote continue finishing series. I did that. I finished 10 series. So success there as well. I have started quite a few series though, so my series on the go list did go up, but I did continue with finishing series. I said to do more puzzle videos. I did not really do many puzzle videos. It just didn't happen, but I am definitely still open to doing some more puzzle videos. And I think I would also like to try doing a few more like short form videos. I don't feel very natural at doing them. And I much prefer editing on my computer. I feel as though a lot of the software for editing shorts and reels, TikToks, whatever, short form content and is done on your phone. And I'm not a fan of that. I would much prefer if I could film it and then edit it on my computer. Ideally in iMovie, but iMovie doesn't do it because of it being horizontal and not vertical. I need to find somewhere else where I need to find a way to hopefully make that more easy for me to incorporate into my editing. And stick with a once a week schedule, which I have also done. It took a little bit of a slightly longer week in December when I skipped a Wednesday and moved it to a Saturday, but I have done a once a week schedule. So tick for those ones. I then had like some big book goals, which was to read Rhythm of War, which I did. It had its own goal because of how big it is. So you can guess what I might replace that one with for this year, but I did read Rhythm of War. I think I also said I wanted to read a French book. I did not finish a French book, but I can do that in 2025. I did it in 2023. Maybe it's just all the odd years I read a French book. And then I had some ideas for series that I wanted to finish and some potential ones that I wanted to start. So I wanted to finish Skyward, tick. Crescent City, tick. Emperor of the Wolf, sort of tick. The Final Strife, tick. The Jasmine Throne, no, I did not do that one. The Bloodsworn, tick. 5 Warrior Angels, no, did not do that one. Oh, and then the Atlas 6, tick. And then I had Guild, no, and A Fate of Wrath and Flame, no. After those 10, I finished 6 and 4 I didn't do, so 60% success rate. Could be better, but I did finish like other ones, just not those ones. I think Guild and A Fate of Wrath and Flame will be finished very early in 2025. A Fate of Wrath and Flame, I have the 4th book. Guild, I'm waiting for the paperback, which comes out in March. And then I do want to make progress on the Jasmine Throne and 5 Warrior Angels. Hopefully I get all of those done in 2025, hopefully. And then I had a list of series I wanted to start. So I had the Warlord Chronicles. No, I think I read the first chapter, but then I decided I wasn't in the mood and didn't continue on with it. But I did start other things, so it's fine. I had Blackthorn and Grimm. I adored that series. I read the whole trilogy, so I did do that. Fireborn, I read the first book and I DNF'd it. I think I forgot about that in my series I DNF'd this year, but I did DNF Fireborn. I read it and I was like, this is fine. I don't need to continue on. Yeah, I didn't get the hype. Ribhara, oh, that's another one that I read the first one and I guess DNF'd. Didn't feel the need to keep going. And then Ship of Magic, which I have not read. And I haven't actually put it in my 2025 priorities. But I do still have it. I just haven't prioritised it. Maybe it will happen this 2025. maybe it won't. We shall see. But I haven't written it down on the list. Although the thing is, I think when I wrote down Ship of Magic, I just meant that to stand in for like a big epic fantasy series. And I have been reading the Magician series by Emily Feist. So I do feel like I did tick off one of those like older, cozy, epic fantasy series. Now, moving into 2025, now we've flashed back, we've looked at what I've done, achieved. I feel like I'm relatively happy with what I did. Like, obviously I didn't do everything, but I think I did a relatively good job at sticking to what I said I was going to. That I did a good effort on a lot of that. Moving into this year, and hopefully I continue with the same effort, although I think I made it slightly more unrealistic because I just started listing loads of things and I was like, I could do this, I could do that, I could do this. So this might be a bit more of like a pile of possibilities than I'm going to be able to read all of these things. But I think some of the like starts of it remain the same, that I do want to continue that positive reading energy. Who doesn't want positive reading energy? So positive reading energy, yes, I want to continue that. Yes, I want to continue putting out one video a week. I do want to continue that. I think there are some moments where I feel a bit disheartened because the growth of my channel has been quite slow over this past year. And I think I need to, I don't know, maybe vavavoom, mix up my content a little bit. That I think with only doing one video a week, you end up with the staples, the TBR, the wrap up, and then that doesn't leave you much room in the rest of the month for doing other things. So I think I could potentially try and like zhuzh it up a bit, try and create a bit more energy. But I think it's just hard when you're trying to balance having a channel, finding the time to film, to edit, whilst also doing a normal job, doing a normal working job. And I travel a lot for work, which is a real privilege. It is a real privilege that I get to travel a lot for work, but then that really impacts my time because I spend quite a bit of time not at home. So I really have to plan around that. So that impacts both my reading and my like filming time. That this is just a side thing for me, that I am doing other things. So I think there is that struggle of trying to balance like work, having a social life. I've recently moved house, which has been a big whole thing in and of itself. It's finding that time to do the one video a week, but also try and keep up that like inventive energy, because I've now been doing this for a few years, and so I would like to be able to put more time and more effort and more into this. It's just it can be a bit of a struggle. I wonder if other people relate who do also try and do some sort of social media presence around books, if they also have that like, I would love to be able to put more into this, but I only have so much bandwidth, and currently I don't feel as though I have enough bandwidth to do more, to be able to do loads more. So anyway, I would like to potentially experiment again with the puzzle videos, or doing some more like short form content. I would like to try and do that. It's just finding the time to be able to like schedule that into my week. I'm also marathon training, so and that takes a chunk of time as well out of your day, because you've got to be able to run. It's not just doing the marathon, it's doing all of the training for the marathon. Like that's a lot of like hours per week that I'm spending exercising. That balance, just hopefully trying to find a balance between things. Then continuing with that goal that I had last year, reading down my physical TBR. My physical TBR isn't massive. I know it's not. I compare it to some people's here. I have loved watching the different videos this year that people have done on trying to read down their physical TBR, like Becca's Shelve It or Scrap It, and Emily Fox's Read or Unhaul, and I think there was a Bookshelf Ultimatum. Like, I love all of those. And those people have quite extensive TBRs, and mine is definitely not like that, because I have 60 odd books on my TBR, in the 60s. I have that many on my TBR, which compared to the 400-500 or whatever, it's not a lot, but I feel as though it is pretty stagnant, or it just stays. It's just consistently around that number, and I need to find a way to get it lower. That I would like it to be probably around 30. I'd like it halved. I think I would like to halve my physical TBR, because I do definitely want to have choice, but I feel as though there's too much choice right now. And there are some books that I've had on my physical TBR for years that I have not read, and I still want to read them. I definitely do still want to read them, and some of them it's for a reason, like The Name of the Wind. It's there for a reason, because it's not complete. But there are some where there is no reason, There is no reason why I have not gotten to it yet, apart from poor time management. And I feel as though if I had a smaller TBR, I would be able to just bring things in and read them and keep things at a relatively good turnover. Whereas right now, I've had books on my TBR since before COVID, and they're still there. I've got a lot, I think, from like 2020. There is a lot there that has been there for years, and every time I do my physical TBR video, they are still there. And they have sat there. And that's with just a 60 book TBR, 60, 70 book TBR. I feel I would like to reduce it, and I would like to spend some time next year getting it down. This year I targeted 50 books. It didn't happen. I didn't really get anywhere. I think I need to be more brutal. So I'm going to target myself to get to under 40. Because last year I made a really big dent when I had the target of 50, 2023, I made a really big dent. I went from like 90 to 60. I made a really big dent that year, and I think I need to do the same thing again, where I'm just a little bit more brutal and just knock it down. So that is my thing that I want to do. I might just join the trend and do like a video series on it, because I love them. I love watching them. I love watching these people attacking their physical TBR. I might just join. I might just join in. I know everyone's trying to join in, but I might just join in too. So I hope you don't mind, but I think I might do that. But yeah, I would like to get that down. I would like to get it down. So then in terms of what I want to read and how I'm going to get there. So I have two, again, like last year, the big book challenge. I have two of those, one of them being a French book and one of them being a Stormlight Archive book. So I'll start with Stormlight Archive. I would like to read Wind and Truth by Brandon Sanderson. It's a commitment in and of itself, but it would get me up to date with the series. So I would like to read Wind and Truth. For me, it's a big investment to read these books. So I just need to find the right time within the year to get this, but I do really want to read this. I love this series. I do, like so many other people. It's just, it takes a lot of time to read because of how big it is. And I feel as though I need the right momentum, because Oathbringer just took me like a month to read because I didn't have the momentum with it. Rhythm of War, I read in like a week. I read the first 200 pages, then I took a very extended break, and then I read the rest of it in like a week, and that really helped my enjoyment. So I need to find a week to 10 days where I can just read this. Wind and Truth, hopefully 2025. But the thing is, I feel as though I've got time now, because I've just read The State of Sanderson, and there's not like major Sanderson releases over the next few years. Like, I've got a bit of time, and I don't have many other Sanderson to read. I want to read The Silent Man before I read Wind and Truth. I've just finished the two novellas that I hadn't read, so I don't have loads of Sanderson to read. So I need to savour it. I need to savour that. My French book, I would like to read The Enigma of Room 622 by Joel Dicker. My boyfriend's read this one in English. I've got it somewhere. He's read it, really enjoyed it. I actually started this, I think in September time, and I read like the first couple of chapters. So it's definitely very intriguing. It's about a murder in Switzerland and uncovering this murder that's happened many years ago. So I would like to continue on with this. I just haven't prioritised it. So I've got those. Then, similar to last year, I have some series that I'm in the middle of that I would like to finish, and then a list of series that I would like to potentially start. In terms of series that I would like to finish, these are ones that I have on the go and that I believe are either complete or finishing next year. So they should be ones that I can easily wrap up and get finished. So I have, not in any order, I have the Emily Wilde series by Heather Fawcett. The third final book comes out in February for that one. So I think that's easy peasy, done. Like, no questions on that one. It's going to be fine. My ambition is to at least finish 10 series. I think that's what I've done most years. I think 2023 I might have only got to 9, but this year I've got to 10. It seems like a realistic number. Ideally it could be more, but 10 minimum. So yeah, Emily Wilde. I then would like to finish the Burning Kingdom series by Tasha Suri. So the Jasmine Throne being the first one, but this was one I missed in 2024. But I would like to get to the Oleander Sword and the Lotus Empire, which I have, and just get on with finishing this one because I really enjoy it. I just haven't done it. One that's been ongoing for quite a while is the Five Warrior Angels series by Brian Lee Durfee. So do want to get to this. I reread the first book back in 2023. planned to continue on. I do just need to reread the second one. I've got the audiobook of that somewhere. Just need to start that. And then I can get to The Lonesome Crown, the third and final book, and just wrap this all up. Just wrap it all up. Another couple that are finishing next year, so some duologies. I have the Saga of the Unfated, so the first book being A Fate Inked in Blood by Danielle L. Jensen. The sequel to that comes out, I don't know when, maybe it's summertime next year. So it's just a duology. Get that one all wrapped up. Done and dusted. Easy peasy. Again, I think that one will be very easy. Another easy one, again, a duology, is Book of Night. I think it's called Thief of Night, Shadow of Night by Holly Black. That one comes out again in the summer, so I can just wrap that one up as well. I think those two will be very easy ones to finish, and I don't anticipate they will be significantly long or significantly like commitments to read. Then also coming out in January is the third and final book in the 5 Penalty series. So I read Helm of Midnight this year, absolutely loved it. I also read the sequel, Cage of Dark Hours, and the third book, The Teeth of the Dawn, comes out at the end of January, so hopefully I can wrap that one up relatively soon as well. Absolutely love that series, so underrated. I should do a should you read when I read that third one, but the answer is yes, you should. And then another couple easy wins that I anticipate I'll be able to read very quickly is the Play to Prison series by Raven Kennedy. I just had the sixth and final book, Goldfinch, to read. I read the fifth one this year, and the sixth one is out, but it's only out in hardback, and the Kindle is very expensive right now, so I'm just waiting for that book to come out in paperback in March, and then I can finish that one. And then I have A Fate of Wrath and Flame series. The fourth book is out, I just haven't got to it. I do have the Kindle, but I haven't read it yet, so I just need to get to that one. I think again it'll be easy, it's just a final book, easy peasy, done and dusted. And then one that is a bit more of a commitment and is like scheduled to finish next year. I think the release date has moved a couple of times, so for now it is scheduled to finish next year, and that is the Witchland series by Susan Dennard. So I would need to reread the first 3 books, which I read many years ago. First book being Truth Witch, and then the fourth book is one that I haven't read yet, and then is that fifth and final book that's coming out in November, I think it is, October, November, end of the year. So I could plan to start my reread over the summer. So that is 9 that I think I could just very easily finish. Those are some of the ones that I have like on the go currently, that I know are finishing next year. I'm hoping that there will be other ones like Bristol Keats potentially will get a next year release date, but those are ones that I just have on the go in my existing series list that I could finish. So I just need one more that can make up that 10, but those are just some on the go ones that I think I could very quickly and easily wrap up. Then series to start and hopefully finish. So I've just put a list together of 12 series that I have on my shelf that I could easily start and maybe finish. Finishing being the hope of it. These are all complete or soon to be complete series, which is why I've put them on here. I think there are also like first books in series that I want to read. Like if I don't get to it in this next week, The Will of Many, I want to get to that book. I want to get to it. Also, one that's calling to me is The Fragile Threads of Power. That one's calling to me, but I know that's just going to be the first book. But hopefully I can read these ones, and hopefully they will also help make a dent in that physical TBR and my ambitions to get my physical TBR down, because one of the issues with my physical TBR is that it is made up of a lot of first books in series, and so I'm going to need to read some first books in series to get there. Hopefully I love them and I will buy sequels, whether that's in this year or next year, but I would hope it would then mean that I would increase my TBR again to get these sequels bought and read, but it is what it is. I split these up into sort of sections. So I have 12 here. They're just ideas. I could read something else. If something else calls to me, something else comes up, it could get replaced. But here are some ideas of series that I think could be realistic ones that I read next year. So we're starting off, the first section I have is duologies, because I figured duologies are an easy win. I already own the first book. I only need to buy one book and job's a good one. I mean, that's if I enjoy the first book. If I enjoy the first book, I only need to buy one more. It's not like I'm committing to a big series where there's many books and I have to buy many books, because then that impacts the TBR that I'm wanting to reduce. So these could be easy wins, and 2 of them finish next year. So should be, hopefully, I'm keeping up to date with some newish releases. So the first of these is Talon Sister by Jen Williams. The second book came out in November, so very recently. This is her latest duology, fantasy with griffins. I think I'm going to enjoy it. I enjoyed The Ninth Reign. I had some hope some small hope of reading it this year. Didn't happen, but I think this could be an easy win as well. Not too long, not too daunting. Could be an easy win. And then I think actually, were both of these sent to me by Orbit and I haven't read them? Potentially. But then I have 2 Orbit duologies that are finished next year. The first one being Fathom Folk by Eliza Chan. Orbit did send me this one. So yeah, I think the sequel's coming out early-ish next year. Maybe March, is it March, April, May time? I could easily get to this. Again, I don't think this one's going to be too daunting. It should be an easy read. I think this should be an easy read. Hopefully I enjoy it. And then I can just get to that sequel and we're done. It's, I think, like a South Asian, like a water setting, polluted waters. And then I also have the Jasad Air by Sarah Hashem. I think it's more of a fantasy romance with a like Middle Eastern inspired setting. So I'm really excited for this one, and the sequel comes out, I think it's July or August. Another like hopefully easy win with all these doors. Hopefully these are all just easy ones that I can just easily finish. And that will get, you know, 3 books off of the TBR. Easy peasy. Then I did film a self-destruction books. So the whole concept of that being that you create a list of books that you need to read in the next 12 months. If you don't read them, then you need to unhaul them, which is a little bit torturous. So I did create that list for, it was about in May time. I've currently only read 1 of the books on my self-destruction list. So over the next few months, I need to make some progress on the rest of these. So these need to be the ones that I'm actually prioritising in the first half of the year, so I don't end up like last year where I ended up having to deal with everything in May in that final month. So I have a range of things here. I actually have another duology. I have Incendiary by Zoraida Cordova. This is a YA duology. This is one where I'm like, will I like it? Will I not like it? If I don't like it, it doesn't really matter because it's just a YA duology. I think I had Ray Bear in previously for this sort of section of YA duology. Should I have read it a few years ago? Another one on that list is The First Sister by Lyndon A. Lewis, which is the first book in a sci-fi trilogy. I've owned this book for ages. This is a long-standing one on the TBR. And I think I got this when it came out in hardback. The whole series is out now, all in paperback, I think. And I think I'm going to like this, although I am a little bit hit and miss with sci-fi. I just need to prioritise getting to this one. I just need to do it. But this one, and then another one from that list is The City of Dusk by Tara Sim. This one came out, this was like one of the few Fairy Lou adult books that I got before. I didn't have that subscription for very long, decided it wasn't for me. But this one is a really pretty edition. It's absolutely stunning. Stunning. And the third and final book in this series is coming out in 2025. Can't remember when. The second book is definitely out, and yeah, that third book will be out soon, so I can just see if this one works for me and then decide what I'm doing, whether I'm continuing on with the series or not. So those were the self-destruction books that I haven't got to, so spoiler for that video, but those were some of the self-destruction books. And then I do have a list of just things that I feel like I want to read. I feel like they could happen in 2025. So I have 6 of them. Some of them have been on my TBR for ages, and that's the reason that I'm putting them on the list. That I have, they're completed series now. I've had them for ages. Why have I not read them yet? Some of them are more new to my TBR, and some of them are just, you know, a little bit random. But I just feel like all of these could be prioritised next year. The pile of possibilities of things that I could prioritise. So the one that I forgot to get down from the shelf that I was like, this isn't adding up to 12, I've only got 11 here, is Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. So hiding behind one of my Christmas decorations, which completed in, I think it was June this year. So the series is now complete. There was a lot of hype around Black Sun when that came out, but I feel as though I haven't really heard anyone talking about it since then or recently. But I've had that first book, would like to give it a try and see how I get on. I feel like it got rave reviews, everyone loved it, so would like to experience Black Sun. Another one that is complete, has been for ages, but I am wanting to work my way through some of my like older YA books that I've had for ages, and I've sort of mostly grown out of that demographic. But I have Furyborn by Claire Legrand, had this one for years, haven't read it. This one is complete. I feel like this is marketed as slightly older than some other YA books, but I'm hoping I haven't outgrown this. I'm hoping that I do still enjoy this, but I need to get the YA books off of my shelf sooner rather than later, because otherwise I definitely won't enjoy them. So I just need to prioritise getting some of the YA ones off the shelf, which is why you seem like I've been trying to put a YA one in my self-destruction books, because I need to work my way through them. And then another series that is completing next year, which is why I would like to get to it, is The Foxglove King by Hannah Witten. So the first and second book are out. I think this again was sent to me by Orbit and I haven't read it yet. I'm not very good, am I? Not the best book reviewer, but the third book comes out next year, so I would like to get to this one, at least see how I feel about it, and then hopefully, if I like it, you know, continue on with the series and finish it. If not, it's fine. And moving into the final few here, I would like to continue in the First Law world. So it's not quite a series-ish. I'm in the standalone section of the First Law universe, so it's the series of standalones. I read the First Law trilogy in 2023. I enjoyed it. I really liked it. And then I paused, fair enough, and I just haven't finished it off yet. So I would like to get into the standalones, maybe this year read all of the standalones, and then 2026 read the trilogy, the final trilogy. And I know The Devil is coming out this year. I'm also intrigued by that. I would like to get into these. And then I have Lady of Darkness. This is very new to the TBR by Melissa K. Rorick. Which is the start of a 5-book fantasy romance series, all complete. And I know that she has a trilogy as well, written in the same world, which I think is also complete. This is the series that Becca from Becca and the Books is reading as part of her Patreon, so I would like to get in on that. I know this was the book for November, December, but I figure I can read it in January or February or sometime next year and catch up with them. I feel like I'm going to like this. It's compared to like Throne of Glass. I love Throne of Glass, so would like to read this one. And then finally, one that I want to prioritize, and I was hoping to get to it in December, I don't think it's quite going to happen, is The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. This is the first book in a 7-book series. The 5th book is coming out in 2025. I would like to reread this one and the sequel and then continue on with the series and see how I like it. Now, 10 years since I read this first one. It says the 10th anniversary special edition. Yeah, it's been 10 years since I read it. So I would like to get to this as well. This feels unrealistic. I've just listed a mountain of series, but if I'm going to get my TBR down, I need to work my way through a mountain of series because I have a mountain of first books and series here. There are some of my ambitions for 2025 and some of the ways that I'm hoping to achieve them. Let me know what your ambitions are for 2025 and also if you hit your goals for 2024, if you succeeded. And let me know if you have read any of those books and your thoughts on any of them, if you think that I have gone completely unrealistic or if I've got some semi-achievable things in here. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my future videos. Bye!